Hey there, and welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. I'm Dave Duz, one of your hosts, and today we're going to be talking about the recent announcement from, of course, Black Sabbath, and of course Ozzy Osbourne, and the Back to the Beginning final show that's going to be held at Villa Park. And it's got a really polarizing viewpoint. There is the bulk of people are very kind of, this is a great thing. And then there's a lot of people that are kind of sort of saying this is awful, this is going to just be a nightmare. And I thought it does kind of depend on what you're going there for. And that's kind of where I looked at it. So, if you look at the lineup of the main core of bands that are playing, this is something that wouldn't look out of place on either a late 80s or early 90s Monsters of Rock, which then became known as Download. With obviously Sabbath as the main act, with Ozzy Osbourne, which I'm going to have to be honest, I'm going to face into that straight away. Ozzy doing a full set and then Sabbath doing a full set, I can't see that happening. Ozzy is too frail. That's putting a lot of pressure on him to deliver that. We've got legacy bands, and I call them legacy because from the body of work that's coming out, although they're still maybe putting out band content like Metallica, they are known for their legacy work. So we've got Metallica, we've got Slayer, we've got Pantera on there, Alice in Chains, Lamb of God, who actually would be classed as that now as well, Anthrax, and then we've got bands, and of course Mastodon as well, and then of course we've got more recent bands, I would say, out of these two, which is Gojira and Hailstorm. Now, all of them great bands, all of them headlining bands in their own rights for their own festivals. So it's a huge thing to have this all together on one stage. Plus, you've then got guest vocalists coming in from other bands, including like things like Matt Patton, Faith No More, etc. So really impressive to see that. But the question here is, there are going to be people that say, well, this is a cash grab, but it's only going to be a cash grab depending on what. As I said, these bands here on the main bill are all headlining bands in their own rights and would earn a silly amount of money if they were doing this out from a money point of view. So I'm wondering if they're playing the bill out of respect, in the sense of there is no money involved. And this is where I would actually expect this would be a really good thing as a legacy, as if this was done as a complete charity event. I haven't seen what the actual steer is on this, so it may have come out after I did this video. But if this had been done like they did with, or what I believe was like the Freddie Mercury tribute, and just got loads of people together, and it's kind of what this feels like to me. This is like the Ozzy Osbourne, although it's Black Sabbath's final show. It feels like it's like a live-in wake for Ozzy Osbourne, because we know that. I think we're all very surprised that he's able to even do this show. I was kind of almost expecting it to be a tribute to Sabbath, with a few Sabbath, like the guys from Sabbath coming out and playing a few numbers maybe, from a physical point of view, whether he can get through an entire set. And to be honest, I don't think I'd ever want to watch an entire set of Black Sabbath, because it would never be the same. It will never be up there with the fact that Ozzy is not able to perform at that level anymore. But I would love to go out and show that level of respect as a fond farewell, because he's still with us, but his legacy needs to be remembered there, or the band's legacy and the impact it's had on rock and metal bands from Sabbath. They've influenced so many people. I think every modern rock metal band out there deserves to can put their roots back down to Sabbath, even if it's indirectly through the bands that they love themselves. If you look at bands like Metallica on here, and Slayer and Pantera, all know Sabbath is a big influence on them. For me, this feels very much like a respect piece and a way to say goodbye. But I kind of, I maybe think about where we saw recently, was it Frankie Valli doing in the Four Seasons playing and coming out, and yeah, he's sort of shambling around on stage. He's 90 years old. But I don't want to remember that, as if you're thinking about Frankie Valli. I've seen it with the Rolling Stones as well, and you kind of look at that and go, you've gone past where your legacy is in your prime. So I think if they've do this in the right way as a remembrance, and I can't see Ozzy doing a full set and doing a Black Sabbath set. I just don't see it happening. I've got a feeling it will be guest vocalists coming out maybe, and helping out on some songs, and I think Ozzy will just do a few key numbers where he can. I think that's where it's going to go in the end. But I would be intrigued to know what people think at the bottom. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think Ozzy's going to be able to pull it out of the bag and do 2 full sets? I don't know. I mean, Ozzy and Sabbath having to follow Metallica. Metallica still put on a great show, even again, as though I still feel their legacy bands. I haven't seen them since I last saw them back in... What was it, when Joey filled in on drums? That was the last time, and I even left that gig early to head back home, to get out the car park. So because I just got to the point, I was like, yeah, you're kind of a legacy. I mean, out of that bill there, Slayer probably would be quite interesting to do, but apart from that, I'd be looking at maybe Alice in Chains, Gojira, Hellstorm, Lamb of God. It's all the lower bands on that bill. I'm not that bothered about the Pantera, Metallica, Ozzy, or Black Sabbath. Having seen those bands basically before, I've got great memories of them, so I don't think I'd need, but I think I'd want to go there just to say goodbye, if that makes sense. And I wonder how many other people feel the same when they talk about this, is that it's a case of, it's not necessarily about the music, it's about the event that you're going for, because I see so many local bands in the local scene playing who are so good. I mean, technically and musically, and what they're writing can blow some of these bands off the stage nowadays, but they never get a chance because it's so hard now to get into that upper tier. But some of the local bands in the underground scene at the moment are absolutely phenomenal, and fully deserve to be playing to these huge crowds. But I will probably never get there nowadays, not until we actually stop celebrating these legacy bands, I guess, as much as we do. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I won't be going, but I will be intrigued to see the footage from it and see how it all comes out. And hopefully they do film the whole thing, and I'm sure it'll probably turn up on a Netflix special somewhere along the line. But I don't know, let us know what you think in the comments down below. I've rambled long enough, but yeah, interested to know what other people's thoughts are on this whole Back to the Beginning Black Sabbath show. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching.